We are so happy to have all y'all here, especially in this amazing, especially this epic gaming franchise. Yeah, scoot over. Yeah. Just touch chairs.
The party.
There you go. Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, man. This person has been working as an acting director in performance capture and voiceover in games, television, and films for over 14 years and over 130 titles. And he's worked with a lot of companies like Ubisoft, Sony, Square Enix, Capcom, Larian, CCP, Bethesda, Guerrilla Games, EA. 2 hours later. There's a lot of companies that he's worked for. He's also completed work on Baldur's Gate 3 as a voice and performance director. You know him as Astarion. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Neil Newbon.
He flexed on me.
Neil, always the first
push-ups.
Where is everybody, darling?
Yeah, Neil, you're the second time, because you was first on the Resident Evil panel, which you wasn't supposed to be
I
at.
had to gate crush it, because nobody turned up.
He moves so swiftly. I mean, look at him.
Punctual, man, seriously.
It's because I got very good initiative, darling.
Yeah. Neil, how you been? How you enjoying TooManyGames so far?
I'm good, it's great. I've been to Philadelphia only one time before, but I haven't been to TooManyGames, my first TooManyGames. You're my first!
There you go.
So please be gentle, but firm. With your questions. Yeah, it's been great. It's been really fun.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I've been coming to America about 20 years, like working and all that kind of stuff. But it's great to see so many different parts of America now and meet so many different people from different backgrounds and different areas, which is really cool. So yeah, I'm digging it.
Nice, man. I mean, listen, you said that this is not your first time in the city of Philadelphia, right?
No. Well, this is Phoenixville, but your first time.
Phoenixville, yeah. We're kind of like...
This is Phoenixville.
This is Phoenixville. It's the cousin.
It's dangerous enough.
Apparently fiery birds are a thing here. Wonderful.
There's enough potholes, you know. It classifies.
I've had more cheesesteak things that I can possibly excrete.
Exactly.
Go Phils.
So if anybody that doesn't, I mean, everybody knows you, Neil, everybody, but if for some odd reason that there's like maybe a few people that don't know you, give us a little background about
yourself. Raise your hand if you don't know who this is.
No, don't do that.
Wow. I got booed for not playing the game, but we're not gonna, okay.
Yeah, right, exactly, yeah. Real quick, because he's never played Baldur's Gate, so I'm just gonna shout out to him. What? Exactly, that's what I said. That's what I said.
Tell him to be gone.
Exactly, I will, yes. Go.
I'm joking.
Chair's too comfy, I can't do it.
Okay.
But yeah, like give us a little background about yourself.
Yeah, sure. So I've been acting for about 28 years. I've been in games, in performance capture and voice work for about 15 years. I've done, I don't know, somewhere 130 titles. I've lost count of the titles I've done.
Yeah.
I'm an actor, director, stunt performer, choreographer, creature specialist, a juggler, I don't know, whatever, a whole bunch of stuff. And I've been working in TV, film, theatre is where I started. So I started in Bloomsbury Theatre, Edinburgh Fringe, Royal Court in Sloane Square, and then I went into film, then I went to television, and then I was very broke, and I was destitute and pretty not in a good place. And then randomly I found games back when nobody wanted to do it, and realised that this was one of the futures of storytelling, and that it was going to get progressively more subtle, intricate, the writing was going to get better, and ultimately actors' roles in games were going to become more interesting and more subtle, and so I was very lucky that I saw the opportunity when everybody told me not to do it.
Yeah.
That it was going to ruin my career in catering. I did it. So I was very lucky. I had lots of people supporting me, championing me, including the caterers I used to work for. They were very cool.
Yeah.
But also I found that I was allowed to take my face off, which for an actor is a big thing, because obviously, as long as you're being cast appropriately to your ethnic background, you can play anything. And for a person like myself, not being able to take my face off was hard, because I kept on getting roles, very specific roles.
Right.
And I'm a character actor, and I wasn't allowed to be a character actor so much in TV and film. So games allowed me to play anybody that was appropriate to my casting. And it was awesome. It just freed me up completely. So I fell in love with games. I'm a gamer anyway. I'm a massive geek.
Yeah, okay.
I'm up to date with my dues. Hello, Maggie Robertson. This is like the second time I've had to do this.
We just got dunked on.
This is just like the Resident Evil panel yesterday.
We wrote the whole intro Mark
I
had
was like, Neil's
prepared.
going to be fine. He'll
Hang on, so now you go introduce yourselves. Go ahead.
Hey,
it's
listen,
fine.
listen, since they're here.
Around hoping to find it. It's
Mark,
fine.
you
No
want-
one wanted to tell us where we were. We thought we'd just walk around. No, that didn't work. We're just asking people, hey.
Hey, listen. Well, you know what? Listen, while they're here, man, let me introduce both of them. Of course, you already know the one in the middle. It's the award-winning actress that took the game in voiceover world by storm for voice motion capture performance portraying the iconic villain and fan favorite, of course, you know, Lady D in Resident Evil Village. Of course, now, Maggie stars in the highly anticipated Dungeons & Dragons role-playing game, Baldur's Gate 3. She provided a voice and performance capture for Orin the Red, one of the most creepiest characters ever in the game. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Maggie Robertson. And last but not least, I've been waiting to talk to of course, this one classically trained actor and the BAFTA nominee, a Gang Award member, and for a role as Karlach in Baldur's Gate 3. They are the first BAFTA breakthrough performer to be admitted to initiative on a video game called indie hit The Excavation of Hobbs Barrow. Of course, Samantha is also the creator and host of It Takes a Village, a streaming chat show on Twitch featuring a live audience Q&A. The show shines a spotlight on those who are so often overlooked, the people who make our games on themes of collaboration, co-advocacy, and community. And of course, VODs be found on her YouTube channel. Give it up for Samantha Béart. Welcome in.
That was beautiful. Thank you.
Listen, I just had to point that out, Sam. I had to point that out because, I mean, we're all for it, you know, providing light to indie devs.
Do I get an intro, Mark?
What's that?
Did you write one for me?
And Nick, there you go.
Yeah. I won some readathons in elementary school. You could tell them about.
You gotta do your own, pal.
Okay, I could do an impression. Oh gosh, I'm on the spot. Hello, Reggie. All right, moving on. Don't clap that. Do not clap for that. Oh my goodness. No.
You're hired.
Yes.
Welcome in, welcome in. We just asked Neil, like, how y'all enjoying TooManyGames so far?
God, this day.
It was great until that moment.
Yeah, it's fine. It's going really well. It's super fun. It's been great. Everyone's super nice. It's always really special. I'm sure these guys echo that. It's very special to be able to come to these events in person, especially when you're a part of franchises that have such amazing community bases around them. And so to be able to meet everyone and experience the joy and the light that everyone brings is very special. Full stop.
Just gonna make me cry.
So personal perspective, I get to sit at a table. People are nice. Sometimes I write my name. I've been having the best time. It's fabulous. Thank you for coming to see us. Really appreciate it.
Lots of selfies.
Yeah, listen, we are so happy to have all of y'all here, especially in this amazing, especially this epic gaming franchise. Yeah, scoot over. Yeah, just touch chairs.
The party.
There you go. So the first thing I just want to get into it, like the first thing I want to ask each and every one of y'all is the Baldur's Gate franchise, you know, just your experience making Baldur's Gate. How did y'all get in? You know, what did you see? How do you see the franchise in the future for each and every one of you? The Baldur's Gate franchise. So how did you get into the franchise?
I was last in,
Yeah,
past the gate. So I did this game called Excavation of Hobbs Barrow, a little indie game. It's on Steam and all of good places and probably some terrible ones too. And this was back in the day when Elon Musk didn't run Twitter.
Yeah.
So I could see things in the order they were posted.
In the long ago, in the
Long
old
ago.
time.
When it
Oh
was
my God.
called Twitter. Yeah.
It was called Twitter. Children, gather round.
We still call it Twitter.
Anyway, Michael Dowse from Larian was very vocal about how much he enjoyed my performance, and so I slid into his DMs, as you do. It was Michael, and I went, "Hi, if there are any significantly large roles left, because I am the only British actor who's not in this game. Everyone else is, and it turns out there was. So that's really it. That's the short version of a very long story.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's get the slide out.
Sam had to do like 4 years worth of work in one. It was insane how much you did.
Yeah, so I came in when you guys were doing acts 2 and 3, and then I had act 1 to do, but Carlotte's not really in act 1 as much as you are, so that was how we got around that, I think. Yeah, no, it was very cool. But it was great because I know that some people, you guys weren't always coming in every day, obviously you were further down the line, but you'd meet all these new directors and they say, do you want to play back what you've been doing? And I'd be like, no, I'm fine, I did this yesterday, it's great. I remember. So yeah, no, I love the momentum.
It was 3 hours ago.
Yeah, 3 hours ago. No, but for that character particularly, with the momentum that she has, the feeling that she's running out of time, and me going, "Come on, let's go." It just became one thing. No, it accidentally went method.
Yeah. That's it. But it was wild because like we were finishing our day sometimes like 6 o'clock, and they were starting at 6, and would just push on until 9, 10
Till they throw us out.
Till they throw you out. Yeah.
But I got to have dinner with the crew. That was cool.
Yeah, it was
There's
cool.
always Nando's, cheeky Nando's after work.
Cheeky Nando's. Yeah.
It was really good. So yeah, fun.
Getting hungry.
Oh, let me ask y'all, did y'all have any like pre-notion of what the game would be?
Yeah, we haven't.
Yeah.
Ask the others. How did you get into the game?
Oh, God.
Maggie Robertson, how did you get started in Baldur's Gate 3?
Yeah,
I've got you.
taking over. He took over her answer. We're taking over her question.
Yep. They reached out. I had a very dear friend that may or may not have put my name forth for consideration on a few things. And so they reached out, and I auditioned, and then I had a callback a few days later, and then a few days after that, I was on a plane to London to record. So that's how I got that, and I think I accidentally went method as well because I was so jet lagged, and I did not anticipate how severe the jet lag would be, and I didn't give myself any recovery time. I landed, and then the next day I was on set, and I think I was just delirious and cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and that is why Oren is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
So originally she was so different, right? She was coherent.
Oh, she was really straight.
Yeah.
Very
Just
punctual,
amazing way with words.
Type A, organized. Neil, darling?
Awesome, yeah. I got to be witness to one of your sessions, actually.
Yeah, it made me really nervous.
Why? We're friends.
I don't know. I care about your opinion.
The cool thing was, though, that because, you were very much in that moment. The second you come out, you'd be like, hi. Sort of like wandering around. So it was really impressive to see how focused you were in those sessions. Because honestly, jet lag's a bitch, as we know. It's hard. So the fact that you just went boom straight into it was so impressive, man. You kicked it. Yeah, very cool.
Thanks.
Mr. Newbon, how did you get involved in
Thanks for
Baldur's
asking,
Gate?
I appreciate it.
It's okay, anytime.
So I was, my production company was helping a co-production kind of on Final Fantasy XVI's performance capture in Hungary. Thank you to
Beautiful game.
We're doing 5 months performance capture with a great bunch of actors and stunt performers as well. It was really cool. And whilst I was there, I heard about this job. And so I asked to get on to the audition circuit for it. And they sent all the information through, and the pictures were all like things like Devilkin and whatever, nonsense names, except they were using the real pictures.
Yeah, I remember
it's
that.
Like, that's D&D.
Wizards aren't going to be happy about this when they find out.
Yeah, so it's
They're
like they
gonna be
wouldn't tell us
mad.
anything, because, it's like projects, they always hide the names and stuff. Oh, no, it's just a high fantasy thing. It was like, that's D&D. So I thought it's either Icewind Dale 3 or Baldur's Gate 3. And so they said, submit for 2 races that you could be like goblin or dwarf or whatever. I submitted like you. I submitted like 10. I submitted all of them apart from halfling. So I thought that was a bit of a stretch.
By then you've done,
I think I'm okay.
You've done a gnome, you've done a goblin, you've done a dwarf by then. You're going, well, how do I make this different?
I drew the line at halfling. It's not really it. So we got lucky, and Josh Whedon and I had already worked. Josh Whedon's one of the lead director at Pit Stop Productions. He and I had already worked on Resident Evil 3 DLC, which is called, forget the name, have you played it? The DLC for Resident Evil 3.
Come on, Come on.
No one single
Make me
person
proud.
played it. Okay, good. Well, that did well.
What sort of fans are you, anyway?
So that thing that I did, playing Nikolai again from Resident Evil 3. He and I worked together, and he knows how I work. So he called me in to play a random vampire, and me being me, assuming that it's just some dude you're going to kill. Yeah. I'll be lucky. I don't care. I want to be in the game. So I was super happy to get it, assuming that my character's going to be bumped off. And then after I started doing the demos and they liked it, they told me it was a companion character. And then I yeah, it was amazing. It was just great. That's how I got started in it. So yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Because I was going to say, like, do you have any pre-notion of what Baldur's Gate was going to be before y'all stepped into the role?
Yeah, I worked it out. So I worked out it was going to be Baldur's Gate 3 early on. So I was super excited for the fact, because I'm a massive fan of the franchise. We also play D&D anyway. So like we're huge fans of the whole concept of D&D.
Yeah.
So to be a part of something that has such a legacy was incredibly exciting as an artist, because you realize you're stepping into this incredibly imaginative, fervent world with all this kind of story and possibility. We just hoped we weren't going to fuck it up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't think we did. I think we got away with it.
I think we got away with it.
Don't listen.
They bought it.
Did they? All right. I think we're in the clear. I think we're good.
But I had a fun game with Pit Stop, because obviously they were told NDA, don't tell the actors they're in it. But of course I came in, if you were listening earlier, I came in via Larian, so I knew exactly what it was. And the first day I went, so what is this game? Oh, it's just some high fantasy. It sounds like something, it really sounds like Dungeons and Dragons. Are you sure it's not Dungeons and Dragons? Are you sure it's not Dungeons and Dragons? Because I know, right, here's the DM. Right, good, okay.
Yeah, it was ludicrous to the lengths that people were pretending it wasn't Dungeons and Dragons.
Pointing to the Baldur's Gate 3
so
poster
stupid.
on the wall.
Literally,
Is
they had
it
the
that?
poster on the wall. Yeah. We can neither confirm nor deny this is Dungeons and Dragons. You're like, fuck off. Right there. That was fun.
Oh, man. You know what, speaking of that, too, and I watched and I know everybody in the audience have watched the latest episode of the High Rollers episode where y'all was said, here's the thing.
Oh, yes.
Here's the thing. How was it acting as your characters?
Oh my God.
And Maggie, I wish you was in the episode so badly. I wish you was there. But for Neil and Sam, how was it acting as your characters in just playing D&D?
Yeah, so my first ever character was a dragonborn barbarian called Denise. That's how you pronounce it. It's quite hard to pronounce. So anyway, she was very clumsy. So she was supposed to be a blacksmith, kept setting fire to the... And they sort of told her there was if you go to Londinium, then there'll be a special mission for you and you can be one of us. Anyway, I like playing as a barbarian because I didn't really have to think very much. And it was perfect, didn't I luck out? So did I hit it? Great. How hard did I hit? Right, I'll see you in 20 minutes when it's my turn again. So I had a lovely time. You got to be a little more creative, I think.
I may have taken a few liberties. Yeah, it was great. It was just because again, like Sam and I, come from that geeky background of playing these games, to actually do something a character that we've lived. Because it's all, both Sam, myself, Maggie as well, we did full performance. It wasn't just voice work. It was full performance capture, voice work, etc. So we've lived these characters and then get to play them in an improvisational setting was just awesome. It was just great. It was like extending the life.
To do more than one line at a time.
Yeah.
It's refreshing.
Interaction by seeing each other.
Interaction with other humans.
Technically, that was the first time we all got to work together in the same room. Because we did.
Some of us hadn't met before.
Yeah,
right?
some of you hadn't met. That's right.
Yeah, you know what? And just to add to the session that y'all did, first of all, rest in peace, Bing Bong. I don't know.
Oh, let it go, please.
I'm sorry.
Please.
I'm sorry. My buddy was persuading me to get a rest in peace, Bing Bong tattoo before I come in.
It's fine. He's gone back to hell where he belongs.
We need better friends.
It's fine.
Speaking of mocap, you just understand that the voiceover work was solo. I know y'all had in different sessions. Either it was in the studio or in your own home. But how was the full mocap performance of everybody in the room? Was it the first time y'all met each other? I know y'all answered that earlier as well, too.
No, that's the thing. We did it individually.
Yeah.
So we did mocap and voice at the same time.
At the same time.
Yeah.
Okay. So there was almost very little voice work alone. That was for hit reactions, especially during the pandemic.
Spells.
And during the pandemic, we had that 1 month where we thought everybody's dead. We're going to carry on making this game anyway. You know what I mean? It's like, well, we'll just carry on. But apart from that, everybody's in the room isolated. Everybody's in a motion capture suit, performing their characters. So I think it added so much the fact that Larian didn't have to do that, but they chose to because they realized the validity of allowing the actors to live in the creative moment physically and vocally all together. I mean, you should have seen Maggie's sessions. That was awesome with the knife stuff. I mean, wow, was unbelievable, dude. Like, really cool. Very cool stuff. I don't think it would have worked as well if it had just been voice only. Voice only is tough as well. It's challenging as hell. Yeah. Doing full performance is easier.
Yeah, I was going to say it's harder because you don't have the physicality, and yet it has to sound like you're not doing a series of funny voices, because I think that's a trap people fall into. Yeah. Do you want to talk about stuff? You're done. Fair. Oh, whoops.
Hello.
I like cheese. Take it away.
We tried.
Losing her microphone privileges.
No, the only thing's funny is too, because I can imagine Maggie doing like, you know, if she's performing as Orin and cracking her neck, and it's like, I was like, I can't see Maggie do that all this, you know, as a, you know, performance capture. Like, is that possible? Do you do like maybe a little bit of that?
Can you crack your neck for us?
Oh, I'll crack my neck.
basically.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I did a little bit actually. Did I? Yeah.
Like to what degree?
Again, I was so jet lagged. Did I even do this role at all? I don't remember.
You did the blending motion.
I did? Oh, okay. Okay, good to know.
You did the blending motion. So you start into it and then they make it fun.
Yeah, that's right. I got to do little stuff, and that's the sound I made when I did it. And then they were like, "Can you do it again, but better?" And I was like, "Okay." So I did. That's your, yep. Yeah. Next question.
Oh man, this is awesome. I'm sorry. But now, let me ask you this: if you could play as any other character in the game, any other character that you say I could throw my voice to, who do you feel can voice and act as?
Oh, I've said this before. I'm going to say it again.
No.
There's nobody I would rather play in the game. Because my attitude, I'm a director as well, so my attitude is always like, I couldn't do a better job than anybody else in their role. They were the right actor for the role. So I don't even have the aspiration, I'd love to play this. Because honestly, like, I have my character. That's enough. I'm good for that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. That is respect. Yeah, 100%.
I'm going to second that as well. Yeah.
I'll play somebody else.
Go on, who do you want to play? Who do you want to play?
Well, I want to play really derpy things. So if Larian could just write me a toad creature
That really
in
likes
the
cheese.
game, I'd like to be a slimy toad.
There's that evil frog, isn't there?
So, well, I want to play that. Yeah.
Okay. Job done. Next patch.
On a piece of cheese. There, we're good. On a piece of cheese. Yeah.
It's a niche frog that eats cheese.
A cheese frog.
She's from.
So wait, so I'm curious then, with playing D&D all this time, you've played so many characters already. That's what this is. Like, I'm seeing so many crossovers already. It's like, you've done the mocap, you've already been the character, playing it on the show. I mean, you've been doing it for already.
Cartoon. We did a little cartoon.
Yeah, the animation.
Yeah, a little mash.
Animations, man, was so much fun.
Did you jump ahead in my notes?
So fun.
Or in Mark's notes?
Just write that down later.
Fish, there's
You
no.
all see the animations? Yeah, cool, eh? Yeah, it's nice that we got, because originally it was only going to be like the one, and then they just got a kick out and they saw your reaction to it.
Yeah.
And everybody sort of was like, we have to do more, we have to do more.
Yeah, we
So it's
can
very
render
cool.
this quicker than full mocap, can't we?
It's very cool. Yeah, I'm really glad we got to do those, man. It's cool.
So Dale, you perceive as far as like any skills in performance capture, like did you have prior skills before? Like let's say you've done like school plays back in the day, or y'all like to act out, you know, did y'all learn the art and skill of performance capture as you just got in the industry?
Yeah, can I take this? Is that cool? I started 15 years ago in performance capture and voice. So I started in mocap originally. And there wasn't really anybody to teach you just learned on the job as doing. And we got a lot of support. Audio Motion gave me my first gig, Brian Mitchell. And he and the rest of the people and the other actors that had already been doing it before me all helped me understand how it worked, and I had a knack for it anyway. There are a few places that teach. I've got workshops that I do. You don't have to do the workshop to get a gig. That's a fallacy. So I always tell people the very first moment they arrive is, you don't need to be here. They're like, oh, fuck. it's like what I mean
No refunds, no refunds.
No refund, yeah. No refunds. Yeah. The joke, what I'm saying is that you don't need the training to do motion capture by doing motion capture training. What you do need to do is have an understanding of theatre technique and film technique, because PCAP sits in the middle of both of them and walks a fine line. It is kind of a new methodology, because you have to understand theatrical presence, you have to understand intimacy of camera, everything's a close-up and a wide simultaneously. There is no pass the camera off, you are on the whole time. Everything is usable, so you can cannibalize a moment here and whack it into another scene. You can move people around in space and time. So it's a really interesting medium to work in. But it feels very much like theatre, because there's only a couple of critical props, critical environment, maybe a table, that's it, and a chair. Then you have to imbue the entire room with your imagination, like theatre. And if you don't have a good concept of both those worlds, you might struggle more than you need to. Also, inventiveness is a big thing. So having those skill sets are really important for any budding actors out there, or any actors established. Make sure you understand all crafts, because they all come into it, including voice work. It all comes into voice work too. I don't like the term voice actor. I think it's diminutive. I think actor is the best term. You do voice work, you do PCAP, you do film and TV. Plus, it's not sustainable for most people. Like, we're bad examples. We're examples that prove the rule. Most people will not sustain a career only doing performance capture game work.
Not in the UK, anyway.
Not in the UK, anyway.
We haven't got the market for it.
You need to do everything anyway to support yourself. Plus, it'll make you a richer actor. I mean, all of us have done theatre, all of us done TV and film, and games as well. So having that rich basis is just super important. So I think that's what makes a good actor in the volume, is to be able to have that kind of craft work. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a really good point. So it's a chance for all of us to be do performance capture, which is, we think it's like hard. You got to have some sort of like background, And it's like, I've done school plays before, so I can get into.
Neil, you worked with so many of the actors coming. What sort of proportion would you have said have done any sort of mocap training or experience?
As professional or students coming to see me in my novel?
No, professionals in Baldur's Gate 3. How many of the actors coming in the doors?
I'd say only 20% of the actors in Baldur's Gate 3 out of 258 have done any kind of motion capture before.
Yeah.
Majority of them had not. So I was a director.
I had never done it.
Yeah.
Really?
Have you done it before?
Yeah, Maggie and I worked on.
Of course, you're Resident Evil.
So I was very lucky to be asked as a director on BG3 as well. I got to work with Sam, which was amazing.
Yeah.
And actually, interestingly, because so many of them come from a theatre background, people like Sam, Andrew Winkle, people like that, they all understood how it worked pretty much straight away because of the theatre training.
Classical theatre training.
Yeah,
that's what we're going to say.
Yeah.
You did 3 years at Lambda, right? And was it one?
It was a master's.
Amazing. I did 3. Fine. But we both had that. It was.
Wait, did you? Oh no, Guildhall.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we're not just finding out that we were there at the same time. But you've also got, Ben Starr, who was in Final Fantasy VI. Yeah, we like Ben. Doesn't even have to be in here to get a cheer. I'm very jealous.
It's
Stop
disgusting, isn't it?
But he's
really
Lambda.
annoying.
A lot of you coming out of Lambda actually are going into it. And it's like what you were saying, it's like we get such a toolbox.
Yeah.
I didn't do a day of audio, I didn't do a day of games, and yet here we are. So that, as you said, imagination, awareness of space, maybe mask, lob, and all those things, it all comes into it.
Yeah.
It's that black box space, that imagination, and then you just have the directors tell you exactly what you're seeing at all times. And because I think most British actors, most professional British actors are Shakespearean trained, then that's why they just had a wealth of talent to choose from this. There was no time to train people up in mocap.
Yeah, not really. I mean, I run a non-profit workshop, so we try and keep the costs as little as possible. It's only 2 days, because that's all you need to understand how the technical side of it works, and then you apply your craft. Yeah. Craft takes years, regardless of what you're doing, whether you're a wood carpenter or whatever, whether you're an actor, a singer, dancer. It takes years, and that's okay, because you can start working at the beginning of your training, or after you've done a year or 2 or 3, and then carry on your training throughout your life, as it should be, because you're a craftsperson. So again, there are mocap trainings out there. It's useful. It's not necessary. And like I said, 80% of the actors had never stepped foot in the volume before. I was lucky. I got to direct Sam. And, the first time we met, the one thing that is always important for me on a job like this is the first question I ask, I'm pretty sure I asked you this, is you've lived the character, I'm just coming fresh. You tell me who they are. And then if I break your character, please challenge me. But if I have an idea, we'll talk about it. Otherwise, you're going to steer me in me being able to steer you through the scene. Because I think that's also legitimate to understand on a project like this, we are living those characters day in, day out, 4.5 years, man.
But for us, it wasn't exactly, we're bipeds, we're not doing creature work, you know? I mean, the golem is the most famous one, right? And I think, of course there are specialities, but again, the market, especially in the UK, there isn't much call for that kind of work. But that is like saying voice acting, right? When I think voice acting, I think athletic muscle here. Being able to sustain those extreme voices for hours and hours, and having 50 voices in the back of you. Steve Bloom's out there. If you haven't met him, go meet him.
Steve Bloom's cool.
That's the voice voice actor, right?
Yeah, he's a good guy, man.
An A-grade voice actor. So, you know, it's out of respect a lot of the time when I'm saying, like, not a voice actor. Don't hire me to do what this guy does because I ain't going to be able to do it. But, yeah, I think, for specialist stuff, creature work, you're probably going to be a dancer or a stunt person anyway. And again, you're learning that technique over a few days or few sessions, and then that's just polishing what's already there, isn't it?
And we were good because we had a lot of support in the booth as well. So we had people like me who are generalists. I can do both motion capture, performance capture, everything. But we also had some voice directors who'd only ever done voice. They had a support, which was a movement director, that also would help the actors that weren't familiar with the volume and were a bit freaked out by everything. Or maybe they'd done mainly TV, not theatre, so they didn't understand theatre techniques, etc., etc.
But again, you know, for those of us that trained, we're used to working with a movement director as well as a sort of regular director. So normal for us. So in a way, it was quite familiar.
It was quite familiar. And on top of that, we also had the facility, which Larian brought in early, which is great, of intimacy directors for those that needed it, which is also a new thing in games relatively, that you don't really see that in game. You see that in film, obviously, a lot more, TV.
I mean, it's a brand new thing, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just happened sort of around the pandemic, well, post-Me Too, isn't it, essentially?
Post-Me Too, yeah, exactly. So now there are intimacy directors that can be brought in for those that require it, which is great. And I think everybody, I mean, Dave said this at the BAFTA thingy, everybody felt safe, and I think that's genuinely true, that everybody felt in a safe environment to work in.
Yeah.
And you know, 258 actors over 4.5 years, that's a hell of a statement, do you know what I mean? So well done, Larry, and well done, Pit Stop, as well. Yeah, very cool.
That's respect.
Same. I know you say that, but after that as well, Steve Bloom, I just want to hear your Wolverine impressions. I don't know why, that just came to my head. But I think she would go a great Wolverine. She says she can't do what Steve Bloom does, but I would love to hear that. We will be getting set up for questions in a couple of minutes. See?
I'm Wolverine!
See?
It's Wolverine, isn't it?
See? He's already nervous over there. I heard it. So in a couple minutes, we will be getting ready for questions, okay? And like I said before, we will calmly line up in just a minute.
Wait, time out. You have to say that?
I hope it will happen.
I told him to crash the microphone.
They said they wanted to crash into it. I was like, slow down, hang on a minute. We maintain the peace, that's all I'm trying to do, all right? I'm a victim of circumstance. Anyway, a question I really wanted to ask you guys, especially for the D&D players, is do you have a character or anything from your past that you put into the game, maybe? Or did you create anything through there? Or did you make it easy for you being into the game like that? Because like, my friend has a character that he plays religiously, and he's like, it's in the game now. It was like a fun way for him to kind of like visualize the world, I want to say.
Not particularly.
No, really?
Really?
It's such a tool that people can like use it to like bridge that gap.
But we get to role play all the time as actors, right? We're playing
That's
other people all
point.
the time, so we have all that.
Us non-actors need consoles and PCs in order to pretend sometimes.
And D&D.
I need an acting class, that's what I'm getting
Be a DM, you get to play all the parts.
I've never been, I would be a terrible DM.
I think it's also worth noting that, you know, we're part of the story. We're there to facilitate our character's truth in the story, right? It's for the audience to then take that, and then you get to make your TAV, even if it's the one that you've carried from childhood, because it's now your story. Our story ends the second that we say cut and you're wrapped. And then we hand it over to the audience players, and that's your story. It's why the reason I don't write fan fiction or have any headcanon or anything like that.
We've also got multiple stories.
And we've got
within
multiple
us.
stories.
Yeah.
Well, every story you can do with a character, absolutely, yeah. So, and some of us breaking the fourth wall, which is badass. Very cool. That's right.
I love David Lynch, don't you?
I saw a video, I was
remember
like,
just going, this is a David Lynch moment, right? I love him.
It's really cool.
Do you guys not really put hours into games that you've worked on then, personally? Or, like,
play?
Yeah, they play, yeah. So.
Yeah. We do stream, all of us do streaming,
We
actually.
streamed as ourselves. Have you streamed as a Astarian?
No, I'm not doing this playthrough because I want to hear the
Would
stuff.
you do it? Even just for yourself?
I'll do a Dark Urge run, I think.
Oh.
Yeah. I might do a Dark Urge run. But that won't be streaming, that'll be for me.
No, for you, yeah.
That's just for me.
But the idea
greedy
of, like,
little people.
Give the people what they want.
Me, darling. So yeah, I'm going to do a Dark Urge for me, just to see that stuff.
Yeah.
But myself and my mate Tom are doing a playthrough now.
Yeah, with your own
You guys are,
characters. Yeah.
and it's really fun. It's silly, very
That's
silly.
Inception right there. Someone from Baldur's Gate playing Baldur's
Well,
Gate.
you've got, if you play as Origin Karlak, she talks to herself, and I also speak out loud when I play. So we had 3 of, that was fun.
Wait a minute. You just did some trigonometry I wasn't ready for,
It was amazing,
okay?
I loved it.
All right. Goodness gracious. All right, are we ready to get started?
Yeah, we can definitely. So this is your chance. Remember, like I said, we'll have a line right here in front of the mic.
By the way, are there people at the back as well? Hi, standing. Hi, folks. How you doing? We can't see you so well because there's like lights blinding us. But hi, folks.
Yeah, here, guys. Here.
Oh, bye.
I want to say, Nick, could you definitely direct that mic line?
Have you had enough?
Actually, while they're setting up, I got one side question for all y'all as well, too.
Yeah, go ahead. We'll get this.
Now that the game is complete, is there any, I guess, qualities of your character that you love to instill in yourself? I would love to hear from Maggie.
Now's your time, Maggie.
Ah, yes. I would love to bathe in the blood of my enemies and slaughter and all of that. I don't know. I don't know. My brain's mush. Why do people ask me to be on panels? I don't know. Next?
We're just having fun. That was a baton toss right there.
I'm going to say, is the game finished?
Oh, hey.
Is it all out there?
Well, Neil said, yeah.
I'll talk to you after.
Story.
Are you asking the director or the actor?
I just remember Sven talking about some endings that are coming. You've not read that piece then. I'll talk to you after.
I want to say, we get some extra content?
I know this is something very cool. What?
There's some leaked
I have not
articles you've
leaked
been
this.
reading.
This is like 2 months ago he said this. What? Yeah, I'll tell you after.
Tell me,
I
have no idea.
You've been on Kotaku
He said
or
there's some
something.
evil endings coming.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
let's hold that. We definitely hold that. All right, we'd like to get our first question. Come on up to the mic.
Come on, nice and close.
Okay, I might have to.
Can someone help? Can someone help me with the mic, please? Someone?
There we go.
Hang on a sec.
It was a little stuck.
Work the pole, darling.
All right. Besides, like Tav and Dark Urge,
What's your name?
and Rana.
Hi, Ron.
Hi. Hello. Hi. Yeah. So besides, like Tav and Dark Urge, who do you think each of your characters' best friend is?
What, companions or?
Yes, like companions.
Best friends.
Yes. Who would they be like buddy with?
Oh.
Scratch.
Scratch.
Because I
the
respect
bestest boy.
dogs. They have a hard lot in life.
Yes.
And people chain them up. Not cool.
Every time I pet him, I just go, "Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?"
For Karlak, it would be Will.
Will?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can do that.
If you've romanced them together, they're very ride or die for each other. It's very sweet.
I can definitely see that.
Is it Gortash or is it Ketherek? You love those guys.
No, well, I'd love to peel them.
Ah, sweet.
Like
Well, if that's what friendship looks like.
All
to
right.
you.
Well, that is kind of what it looks like. That is her.
That's so sweet.
How she derives pleasure. So, yeah, okay, I'll take them both. I'll take them both.
All right.
Thank you. You did great.
Hi, this is so exciting. I've never made it to the mic in time to ask a question.
Hi, what's your name?
My name is Miranda.
Hi, Miranda.
Hi. So I have a kind of hopefully funny question. In your private time, maybe in the dark of night when no one's watching, do any of you find yourselves reading Baldur's Gate 3 fan fiction?
Oh my God.
Fan fiction. I haven't got the time, dude. I don't have the time.
Do you know what? I read the description. I go, all right, yeah, okay, cool.
Just to see if people are writing about
There's
you.
so much of it.
I like the idea of it. I don't have enough. I barely have enough time for my own life, to be honest. But
For your own fan fiction, let alone someone else.
I write my own fan fiction about myself. That's how that works. No. I mean, I love the idea of fan fictions. I think it's awesome that everybody takes their idea about the relationships between the characters and their character, or how they see it. And I think it's awesome that people do that, not just with Baldur's Gate 3, but every franchise that is out there.
Absolutely.
I think it's a brilliant, beautiful, and completely appropriate thing to do when you fall in love with a story. You know, you make it your own. Absolutely.
Right.
I haven't read anything. I think it's healthy that I don't.
You're probably correct.
Yeah. How about you, Maggie?
I haven't seen any about Orin.
I'm sure there is.
But I'm sure
There's a couple.
I'm sure I wrote some about
So
orange.
everyone get to work.
Wow.
Do it.
All right, thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Miranda.
That was a trap.
You just hear people start scribbling in the audience.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is very exciting. Kind of nervous here.
What's your name?
Hi, I'm Chicado.
Hi.
Hi. I was just wondering, since we know that your characters can work in a role-playing adventure game series, if there was any other settings that you would personally love to see your characters in, or any other kind of genres.
Animal Crossing.
I
No,
love
it just
that.
came to me right now.
I love that. I love that.
Everything's very peaceful here. But I've got animal friends. It's amazing. And you get tools. You get an axe. And yeah, they break a lot, but yeah.
They're underappreciated.
I think maybe like a sci-fi thing would be cool because then Oren can like be crawling through the vents and creep out like a little
Alien
lizard.
versus Predator versus Orin.
Yes. Yes.
That'd be great fan art. Get on it.
I guess like a boyfriend simulator.
Neil, you've already done that. It's called Baldur's
That's
Gate
right,
3.
we've already done that.
It's really good.
So here's the thing, it's not really D&D, darling. I don't know. Yeah.
Daddy dating simulator.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, they say squeals of recognition from the audience. That's what I like.
It sounds like there's a market. That's all I'm hearing right now.
Thanks for the question.
All right, thank you. You guys are amazing.
Thanks, bye.
Howdy, how are you?
Hello.
Hi.
Hey. So my question implies that you guys may be psychic or able to know the future, but can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
sorry. My question implies that you may be able to tell the future, or you may be psychic, but
You'll be correct.
awesome, amazing. If you had the choice to either star in a blockbuster Hollywood movie where you know the response is going to be huge, massive, or another game of this magnitude, which would you choose, the movie or the game?
I think you're working under the assumption that we get to choose the work that we do.
Yeah.
Let's
So
say
we
hypothetically
don't-
you do.
Is the movie received well?
Whatever you
You got to
want.
ask these questions.
It's whatever you want.
Oh right, okay. So this now our question is: do you prefer movies or games? I think.
Well, if you did
Yeah.
have the choice, and if you knew what the response to both of these choices were regarding,
I mean, personally, I don't really care. I just want to know it's working with great people on good story, with good character, and that I'm going to have an absolute blast doing it.
Yeah.
So that's how I approach all my work. I don't really differentiate between doing film, TV, theatre, games. The technique is different, but the aspirations as an actor is exactly the same. You're there to facilitate the truthful, fictional story of your character for the overriding view of the story, which is the director-writer's vision. It doesn't really matter. Because here's the thing, I think, and I know I speak for all of us too, I know these two really well, as well as the rest of the cast, none of us got into this to be famous. You know?
Yeah, you don't get into games. Do you?
You don't get into
Hold
games.
on.
Well, Maggie got into this for
Maggie's
famous.
done very well.
But she's the exception. No, we don't get into it. So for us, like as actors, if I'm doing, like we've all done plays, like doing a play, living in the real moment with an audience, or doing a game where you get to have this fantastical world, or doing a film where these set pieces and all this kind of stuff is literally there. It's all just different experiences, but it's the same acting thing. It's the same truth, the same pursuit for that moment.
I guess I was trying. So you don't prefer one format
No.
over the other? Okay.
It's whatever we get as long as it's great. Yeah.
You tried to ask a very silly question, and then Neil took it so seriously.
So seriously.
And was like,
See, here's the
no,
thing, if you
I
ask
will
me a
never
serious
imagine
question, then I
anything
get
for
to-
He
you.
sees that whimsy, just
God,
smack it down.
I
You really crushed her dreams.
I kind of expected that would happen. I knew what I was getting myself into.
Oh my, I'm sorry.
Don't
him.
apologize.
I'm basically very cat energy coded, you know what I mean?
What about you guys?
I want to live in cool worlds. So whether that's in a movie or a game, I'm also kind of not answering your question, but hopefully with a little bit more whimsy than this person over here. Cool worlds. I'd love to live in the world of Lord of the Rings. You didn't ask, but I'm saying that. Whether it's game or movie.
Yeah,
or TV.
great writing. If it's great writing, you're going to be fine. We lucked out with this
really
one, didn't we?
exciting when you have good writing.
We didn't, you know, you don't might now get to pick and choose a little bit, but normally you just go, yeah, sure, fine, this isn't offensive to me, I'll do it, but with this, you're doing it. And, I got to the day where we're going, oh, he's gorgeous. She's gorgeous, they're gorgeous. Oh, right, I'm in that game, that's cool. And you're discovering as you go along and go, oh, wow, actually, they've really thought about all these things. So it's the luck of the draw a lot of the time. Good writing.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So this means we're going to see you on the next Avengers movie, right?
Or a
Next
movie
Avengers?
game
What's that?
or a game
The next
movie.
Avengers, we're going to see you all as acting in the next Avengers movie coming out.
Yeah, hell
Okay,
yeah.
there we
I
go.
mean, there's not
That's
many
all I-
left now, are there, to do?
Just jump through a portal.
Bottom of the barrel, man. Yeah.
Hello. Hi.
Hello.
My name's Ashley.
Hi, Ashley.
I'm just really interested in the performance capture stuff. So I was curious if any of the three of you have any favorite mannerisms, traits, or phrases that you brought to your characters specifically.
I really like your juice box sweatshirt.
Thank you. Thank you.
That was a character choice.
There's not juice in it.
Oh.
You might like what's in there. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
you probably would. So.
Blood?
Yeah. Blood? Yeah.
Is it the bloody juice box? Neil?
I think I did a lot of stuff that was rejected. Carla used to do this thing where she'd just throw a line over the shoulder. and then that was just never used. Gabriel was like, you've been looking at the screen for a while. If you could look away, because it's a bit weird. But it possibly would have come across as a bit too well-knowing, so we went with the lovable idiot instead. What about you? What was your best rejected gesture?
Rejected? Oh my God, there were so many. I got very lucky. They didn't really reject any of my choices per se in the physicality or more importantly, the habits of the character. Because again, we talked about our craft work. We all studied lots of different methodology, method, Laban, Jaap Malgemus work, commedia dell'arte, mask work. I drew from all of this stuff to make Astarion, including real-life friends of mine as well that were also inspirational. And by and large, I got lucky, man, that they liked pretty much everything I offered up. There were definitely moments where I took it too far. That was my rejections, was just going a little bit too far.
Do one. Entertain the people.
Yes. Yeah.
There you go.
Take it too far, man.
They want to hear random vampire.
I don't really know how to do that anymore.
Apparently you did it. You just told us you did it.
But it was more like line delivery.
Yeah, okay.
Like a bit too sexy.
Too sexy?
A bit too...
Oh, God's sake, you can't.
Can you give me a line?
Like this.
Just give me a line, like I can say.
They couldn't handle it, is what you're saying.
Can somebody give me a line? Like a... Huh? Oh, yeah. Okay,
Do that.
all right, okay. I'm about to... May I present to you Taking It Too Far? Thank you very much.
All children look away.
Okay, so... can you hold the thing? Can you use it? All right. Hello, my name is Astarion. On your knees.
I like Frankenfurter.
Yeah, a little
From the
bit.
Rocky Horror Picture Show. I don't know.
That might be considered taking it a little too far.
Beautiful,
You're welcome.
you.
You're welcome.
What I learned about Neil when I went in to do my mocap is that we had these things where we had to start and end in our base pose. And they told me that Neil, as Astarion, just kind of drifts and somehow doesn't always find his way back to base pose.
The scandal!
The scandalo! And is it me? Who's ringing? Who's...
I don't know. It's you, isn't it?
Doesn't want me near you. I don't know. It's very rude. But no, I was perfect in every way when I went in to do the motion capture. And,
Exactly.
definitely was not told that I was too crazy at all. I think we had a scale system that we worked out, and I was like, okay, where do you want this to be?
Yep.
8, 11, 5, 1, and then we'd go from there. And usually they were like, cool, if that was your 8, let's do a 3. So.
There's a lot of math behind the scenes. Oh my God.
This is D&D world.
Thank
Of course
you.
there's math
True.
behind the
Yeah.
scenes.
Mark, roll real quick.
Oh my God, I would love to.
Hello.
Hello, I'm Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Sorry, I'm nervous. I've been an actor for I've been acting since I was in the 4th grade. So meeting actors is always important to me, and learning the craft and all that. And
to give a little backstory, I'm actually voicing in my first ever voice role. Like, it's a mini role, but it's my first ever voice role in a little game. Thank you. But I'm so super hard on myself because of years of like anxiety and putting myself down because life and people are cruel. But I was wondering, how do you get through the days where you just feel like you aren't enough, or you're just like having anxiety about acting and what you do?
My training was very good in that we would talk about what some people call the inner critic. We would call it the little fucker. The little fucker tells you you're terrible, right? And distracts you, and then you flub the next line because you're thinking. The little fucker also tells you you're amazing, and then you fuck the next line up because you were going, oh, it's amazing. I would also, yeah, right? Yeah, so there was actually a lot in my training to identify that and go, that's nice, dear, we'll talk about that later, rather than right now.
That's really cool.
It's cool. I love
That's
training.
super cool.
I use it all the time.
Wow.
Yeah, and you do it enough, it becomes second nature. And also therapy. Therapy's great. Yay for therapy. Self-compassion therapy is a wonderful thing if you can get access to it. There are books, there's guided meditations, that sort of thing. Because you know that where you talk to yourself and then you go, oh, I would never talk to someone else like that unless I wanted to fight them or never see them again. And I wouldn't tolerate someone talking to me like that. There are great tools out there you can use to just, get used to a kind voice in your head. It's a wonderful thing to cultivate. I'd recommend you do it because that's going to get in the way of your craft. Yeah.
It's an interesting thing what we do because it's oftentimes started off as a hobby. It started off as a thing that we just loved to do and couldn't stay away from. And then when it turns into a profession, when you are placing stakes on it, your relationship to that thing changes. And so I think what's important for me and what's been very helpful for me, quieting the little fucker, is finding ways to define my worth outside of what I do. Yeah. You are an actor, but that's not all that you are. That's a job. That's my job. I am an actor. That's what I do as my profession. But when I'm not an actor, I'm also all of these other things so that I can handle the no's that happen over here because my worth comes from here, not from this. And so if this is successful, great. But if not, I'm going to fall back on being a dog mom, having all these cool hobbies, my friends, my family, all of these other things that make me the full, vibrant person that I am. That's my recommendation. And therapy is really nice.
Yeah.
And also just validating, this stuff is really hard. And I'm sure we are all right there in the weeds with you, figuring it out. We still figure it out. It doesn't matter what level. A misconception about acting is that you will reach a level of success where all of your worries and troubles go away and you'll just hear yeses all the time, and that is a lie. So this is a skill that you will be cultivating, and it's a skill, it's a trained behavior. You have to work the muscle, just like any other muscle in your body, otherwise it gets weak. So exercise that muscle and build it out because you're gonna need it for the rest of your life. Not to put a damper, that sounds tragic, but you're gonna get stronger. And you're gonna develop strength because it's just like a muscle. You gotta lift the weights to put down the little fucker.
External validation is overrated. That's all I'm gonna say. Just generally in life, because you're always gonna have feedback and that. Does it matter? No, that's their opinion. And I think that's 99% of problems, isn't it? Especially in an industry with so much rejection as well. Like if that's gonna matter to you, then yeah, you're in trouble.
Yeah, definitely.
Rock on, kid.
Hope that helps. Thank you. Very brave. Thank you for coming with that question. Next.
Hi, my name's Maria. I'm known as Juicy online also. Thank you. I see you. Okay. I'm a massive Baldur's Gate fan. Hate Astarion, obviously.
Yep.
But actually, I have an acting question. I feel like whenever I hear stories of actors talking about how they get started, it always starts with their childhood. I'm 22 years old, I work a full-time job, and I never really acted, but I would love to start. I was wondering if you have any advice, for anyone in my position and me, where do I even look to start?
I don't know your full position, because I don't know you that well. Obviously we met, but I don't know your history of where you're at right now. When I first did my first round of drama school auditions, the guy that got one of the 3 places out of 20 of us that were trying to get these 3 places was 45 years old, and he'd been a chef for 25 years. And at some point he went, I don't know, I want to be an actor. I need to be an actor. And so he went into doing that. He was 45.
Yeah.
And he got in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there is not an age when it's too late to start. Morgan Freeman didn't become successful and famous till he was like almost 50 or something crazy like that.
Yeah.
And he didn't think he started acting till he was like 40 or something.
something like that.
So you have to understand there is no age limit. It's a craft. But
The later you start, the better, because you've got
Sometimes,
that
yeah.
life experience.
Yeah, you
You've
need
met
life
all these
experience.
people that you're going
Yeah.
to portray. You know,
Yeah.
it
And
becomes
talk
easier.
about developing self-worth and
Yeah.
value.
Yeah.
You've fully created yourself outside of
So from a starting point, training, which means money, which means squirreling money away into a savings account every month. You have your money for your rent, your money for your food, your money for your travel, and then you have 2% for training. And then you build that up, and you do it every month religiously, and then you put it into training. You find courses, or if you're lucky enough to be able to afford going to a drama school for 1, 2, 3 years. I don't know what it's like in the States, but it's not easy in the UK. Especially now under the effing Tories. 4th of July is our Independence Day.
No, it's going to be, we're going to be free.
4th of fucking July, baby!
Who would have thought that would be happening?
My apologies. I don't know what came over.
Really hate the Tories. Really fucking hate them.
Someone's mad about some tea in the heart.
You're fine, you're fine, you're fine.
Sorry. So here's the thing.
But I was going to say, in the US,
yeah.
people train for life, don't they? Like Robert De Niro still goes to acting classes. It's a very different
that's
thing.
exactly
so
right.
You can pick and choose a bit. You don't have to
You
dedicate yourself.
you don't have to do drama school.
People
Drama school's
start-
useful because everything's together, but
Yeah.
you don't have to do that. But it's about consistency. And if you're working, you go back into training. You get a studio. Don't choose a tool set. Try everything. Reading
so
is
much
free.
time.
You got so much time.
Yeah.
Reading is free. There's a lot of stuff online. Read plays, watch actors, interviews with actors, watch film, watch TV. If you're lucky enough to afford it, try and do theatre. Look at theatre. Go to watch theatre. Everything. Absorb it all. Not only that, observe these people. Listen to their conversations, the way they move. Start making notes. Start imagining how these people could be, how you could play that person. You have all this possibility because you're 22 years old.
It feels like society makes me feel like I
Fuck
should have already
society.
known
I'm sorry,
what I
fuck
wanna do.
society. Here's the thing about all of that stuff, relates to the other person as well. It's about your journey, man. It's about your need to tell a story. It doesn't make a difference if people think you're bad. If anything, that should make you want to go, fuck you, I'm going to do this anyway. I had people tell me not to get into game work 15 years ago because they said it was going to ruin my career. What, my career in catering? Like, what are you talking about, man? Had I listened to them and their opinion about what I should do with my life, I would not be here with these fine people right now. I wouldn't have been involved in this amazing experience. Fuck society. Do what you need to do. But commit to it. Don't know half measures. And don't think, oh, it's too hard. Fucking do it if you want to do it, if you need to. Don't hold yourself back, right?
Okay, thank
Cool.
you so much.
Okay, Neil,
Don't
preach.
be the nice part of society.
No, preach,
Society's
Neil.
great.
No, you're good. You say it all.
No, you on fire, baby?
All right, we are under the 5-minute mark, unfortunately.
Do it
So
again.
we're going to lightning round as quickly as we can.
Hello.
Hello.
So who out of the companions would you ship your characters with?
All of them, obviously. Who would you
hot.
ship your characters with? Everyone, come on.
If you can only choose one, you can't
No,
selfish.
you guys don't
One.
choose one. We can choose loads.
choose
We know how you play.
I chose one.
No. E, all of the above.
All of them. Multiple universes of endless love.
I want them all.
Like Pokemon. But
Yeah.
sexy. Sexy Pokemon.
Let's just call it a banquet.
Get on it.
Thank you.
We didn't answer your question, but thank you. We said no. We shall not be limited. Yes.
Hi, wow.
Hello.
Gosh.
Oh,
Sorry,
get it
that's a right
together.
hand moment.
Nick?
Tom. Nice to
Good answer, Neil. Good answer,
Nick.
Neil.
Hi.
Did we sleep? No, we didn't. That's great. Okay, good.
Good answer.
Thank God for that.
My name's Nick. I'm Nick.
Oh,
Appreciate
Hands
you.
up if you call Nick.
Nice to meet you.
Just him. There's one there, there's one there.
Excuse my fan moment there. Actually, I have a question about fan moment. You guys have like a collective 30 years experience in the field, building up your careers, setting new standards in mocap and acting. I actually have a question for you guys. Do you have any like fun stories about meeting industry vets that you were fans of at the time for the first time?
Meeting industry vets that we were fans of.
Oh,
that
yeah,
now
yeah,
we've
sure.
met.
Oh.
So we've been in their position of idolizing somebody.
It's a very
I met the
lonely
Hobbits.
road.
I'll take it.
Did you?
I met the
Tell
Hobbits.
us.
That was huge for me. I'm a really big nerd, and Lord of the Rings specifically. And I want you guys to know that I played it so cool.
Who did you meet?
I did not even mention Lord of the Rings once. I met all 4 of the Hobbits, and it was fate. I was at a fan expo, and all 4 of them were there on one day, but my queue, I had a bunch of panels, I just couldn't get to lunch in time to covertly meet them. And I was like, oh, nuts, well, it's okay, I'll do it tomorrow. And they were like, oh, babe, 2 of them aren't coming back tomorrow. And I was like, fudge, I missed it. I showed up the next day. The 2 decided to stay, that we're going to leave. And so my handler set up a little photo with them. And then in the green room, I was like, hi, I think I have a photo scheduled with you later. I just wanted to introduce myself and say hi, you'll see this face again. And then we ended up, and then we ended up dancing. Billy Boyd, we just got, I don't know, we talked about dancing, and then I ended up dancing with Sean Astin. He twirled me around, and then we learned how to do the slosh, which is a Scottish line dance by Billy Boyd. And it was the best day of my life.
That's so cool.
And it was so cool.
I worked with Billy Boyd in 2012. We did a live version of the
You let me
Hitchhiker's Guide to the
spew
Galaxy.
on and on.
Your story's better.
And you actually know the
back in a
man.
second.
No, wait a sec. So we did a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy as a tour in the UK. It was pretty cool. And Billy Boyd was the voice of the book for Glasgow. And we went to a Holiday Inn because it's Britain and everything's closed after 10. And in the Holiday Inn, over a whiskey, he told us the tales of Lord of the Rings. And he showed me a little tattoo on the back of his heel.
Oh, shit.
It's
The one
very,
that they all
very
have.
cool. And
The
I said,
Fellowship?
oh, that's really small. And then he was sad.
Oh, boy. Did you
Billy
know
Boyd
that he
fan
broke his
club.
foot when he kicked the helmet? All right, go on.
Thank you.
Did you know?
It was real.
Hey,
Did you know when he threw that knife? That was a real knife.
He
It was
did
a
it for
mistake, and
real?
he had
Did
to
you
get it
know
out of
that?
his face.
Thank you guys.
So good at sword
That
stuff.
was good at sword stuff.
We have time.
For one more.
One
We got
last
one
question,
last
guys.
one.
We're sorry, we're out of
Better
time. We
make
have
it
one last
good.
question. This is our
Make it
last
good,
one.
Gail.
Pressure is
Go on.
on.
Hi,
Yeah, we're doing that after. Yeah, we're doing that. Yeah.
Hey.
Hi, I'm Mackenzie. I just wanted to ask, do you quote any lines on a daily basis? Like, do you quote anything on a daily basis?
We quote
Like, any lines just randomly?
to ourselves.
Yes.
Like mad people. Yeah.
Basically,
Maybe
yes.
to get into character.
I've been asked this recently. I don't know why you think we all talk to ourselves.
You've drifted into Morastarian land
I have his
as a person.
I have his giggle.
You do giggle
Yeah.
as him.
Yeah,
yes.
so I inherited. So his giggle I stole from a great actor called Tom Holtz, who's Amadeus, and Mike.
Oh my God!
Yeah. Do you not get it?
Now
You'll
it's
see
the
it.
monkey's
You get it?
paw.
Yeah. So my surrogate grandfather, who
was so
passed
good in
some
that.
time ago, was a guy called Roy Dotrice. Who's not like my kin, but he became like a surrogate grandfather to me. Amazing actor. He played Amadeus' father. So I watched the film because Roy, and I just fell in love with Tom Holtz's character. It's amazing. And his laugh, I thought, was a really interesting laugh because it's socially inappropriate, it doesn't give a fuck, and it cuts through conversation like a knife. So I always look for different laughs for my characters. It's like Heisenberg, he's good like them, It's kind of like metal, kind of metallic machinery laugh. So it was Star, I was like, well, I need to do something fun with it. I remembered his laugh. I thought, I'm going to steal that because that's brilliant. That's exactly where Astarian's at. See this? It's mad. It's manic, and it's unapologetic. I thought that's a beautiful thing to add in. So I stole the laugh from that and added it to Astarian.
And now it's yours.
Now it's
Acting like the monkey's paw.
But I now giggles when I get really naughty and mischievous.
That's the price you have paid.
The price I've paid. So yeah, that's for me.
Well, listen, it was a pleasure having all y'all here. Seriously, so much love. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for these amazing people.
Sorry, we ran
Samantha
late, sorry.
Béart, Maggie Robertson, Neil Newbon.